Darius and Anucauskas from Easy Markets. Look, this is not the actual video. This is the video preview for the webinar, which is going to happen in a few seconds, where we're going to talk about indices, commodities, cryptos, currencies. We'll pick up on a few stocks as well, a few economic data sets. So yeah, stick around. Do not tune out. Nope, nope, nope. Hopefully you'll enjoy the show, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay, hello, finally, there we go. Now we are live. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Easy Markets Daily Picture International with me, Darius and Anucauskas. Look, apologies for a few hiccups in the beginning because I'm trying to figure out this new thing that we have, and for some reason my camera got frozen, and hopefully now it's running smoothly. So yes, a bit of a, oh well, it's never perfect, so but eventually, eventually we'll get there. When I'll be 99 years old or something like that, then yes, I'll say that I've mastered everything. But hey, look, thank you very much, first of all, for tuning in. I really appreciate that. So I hope you're having a wonderful start of this Friday. Yeah, it's Friday. Friday, ladies and gentlemen. So welcome everyone. So let me just double check everything, if everything is running smoothly or not. First of all, as the usual, my good morning in the chat room. Good morning, everyone. Yep. So yep. Good morning. So. Ladies and gentlemen, whoever is watching right now, I don't know, Mandrix, are you watching? But yes, if you can let me know if everything's running smoothly, because, like I said, I'm running this one from home again. So, yep, once a week occurrence. Yep, ladies and gentlemen. So, like I said, I hope everything is running smoothly. In this session, we're going to talk about the usual stuff. We're going to pick up on the indices, commodities, cryptos, and currencies. So yes, we're going to pick up on a few economic data sets which came out yesterday, which are going to be coming out today. So yes, keep an eye on those. I mean, continue watching this session. Look. Before we jump into the charts, before we do that, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So let me just put this one on the chart here. The content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendations and should not be considered as such. This material should not be taken as an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. So I'll give you a few seconds to read the rest. Yep, I'm not going to disappear anywhere. I'm just going to mute myself for a little bit just to see if everything is running smoothly, just to do my final checks, and we can continue. Yeah. Okay, so now then, let me just double check everything. Is everything okay? My YouTube is showing that there is a little bit of a delay on my stream, so I don't know. Whoever's watching right now live, can you tell me if everything is running smoothly, if everything is running okay? Hopefully it is. But yep, it seems like my YouTube is telling me that there is a slight delay. Okay, look. hopefully, like I said, the stream is running smoothly, so we can now probably jump into our trading charts. Oh no, no. You thought you're gonna get rid of me, gonna get rid of everything that easily? No. Easy markets. Look. Our website. You can always check out. You can always check out for more information about us. If you have any questions, yep, reach out to us. We'll be more than happy to assist. So, and now let's jump into the charts. So, ladies and gentlemen, looking at Nikkei 225, what's happening here? So this week I talked about this and I told you look to keep an eye on some of these levels. So on Nikkei, I talked about this little hurdle right here, the 38,820 zone, which, as you can see, so far is providing very good resistance. So what do we need here? What do I need here? I need a breakout. I need a breakout through this barrier, through this 38,820 zone in order to consider a move to the upside. Yesterday we had a bit of a flirt with that area, and yep, it didn't really do anything. This morning we did get some data from Japan. Let me just double check that. So household spending came out. Oh, that's interesting. So it actually improved a little bit. Well, improved in relation to the forecast, but it did not improve in relation to the previous number. So maybe that's why we're not seeing that much. Okay, we're not seeing a sell-off or anything like that, but we're not really seeing like that much positivity. So we're still remaining above this 38,000 mark, somewhere here above this downside line from the technical perspective. Yes. It seems that they're still, the bulls are trying to fight, and in a way they are succeeding for now, because the bears, look, I think that the more bears will kick in if we start dropping below the 100-day EMA somewhere here, and then yes, from here, I mean, we could consider further declines, but at the moment we're not really getting that, so let's continue targeting the upside still. But again, the upside for me will be a little bit more interesting if we do push above the 38,820 zone right there. Let's jump into China 50 index. So China 50. Look, I talked about this potential idea of a possible bullish flag. Let me just double check something, ladies and gentlemen, very quickly. There we go. We are running smoothly. So yes, like I said, the idea here that we are currently forming something of a possible bullish flag. Again, if that's the case, that's great for the bulls. However, I think that the more buyers could join in on a break of this 12,843 territory, because a forthcoming higher high will be confirmed. And if that's the case, great. I will go to the upside. However, I'm not going to really get way too excited with the upside, because my next target will be this downside line right here, taken from the high of the, or should I say the highest point of July of 2022. And yes, I mean, that could be a nice good target. Around here we also have the 13,000 kind of 117 zone, but look, I think that just stick to the downside line, this barrier, and then yeah, we could go from there. So jumping into ASX 200 very quickly. Oh, by the way, in terms of the downside on the China 50 index, look, I had it from here previously, but I think that maybe from the shorter term perspective, look, let me actually adjust these arrows a little bit here to kind of paint a better picture. So this is the upside scenario for me. Yep, that's what I'm looking at here. And in terms of the downside, this is the downside scenario for me right here. So let me just put this on the chart. And yep. Where's my magnet? Where's my magnet? There we go. There's my magnet. There we go. Ooh, green. No. Let's just put this more neutral color. There we go. So this is the hurdle that I'm talking about, the 12,629.30 zone, roughly around here. If we do start dropping below it, this may lead to a bit of maybe a larger correction to the downside. And the reason why I'm saying correction, because hey, we are still above this upside line. Let me just grab this line here. Yep, you know probably what I'm doing already. So yep, let me just still nevertheless put it on the chart. So that's what I'm talking about. So this is what I will be doing. This is what I will be aiming for. And yes, if we do drop below the 12,629 zone, yes, I will consider a move a little bit lower towards this upside line, basically. And then if that gets cleared, of course, certainly we will go further south. ASX 200, let's jump into that one. Beautiful rebound. Everything is according to the plan. Nothing else to add here. But yes, basically, I'm quite happy. And what can I say? For now, it's kind of somewhat positive, to be honest. I mean, I really have nothing else to add here because we had a nice, beautiful rebound. I talked about this, and we're now trying to make our way back up again. If we do climb and stay back above the 7,766 territory, and I mean we are currently above it, so if we do continue to trade above that, then yes, there is a greater chance for this one to move back up. However, look, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna keep an eye on the current highest point of this week. Now, something tells me that this might stay like this unless we have something crazy happening where the market will kind of explode or something like that. But to be honest, for now, I am just kind of leaning towards the upside, cautiously to the upside. But again, for better confirmation, a push above that 7,838 zone could be needed. But look, I'm already examining the upside if we remain above the 7,766 territory, and then we'll go from there. Let me just double check something here. There we go. Let me get rid of all this stuff that I have here on my screen. There we go. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at what's happening with the Dow. So yesterday, what happened? Yesterday, indices closed in positive territory. So, look, the Dow ended in with a gain of with a gain of 0.85%, so that's a good result. NASDAQ was the biggest loser, and the S&P, as always, somewhere in the middle. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Look, I mean, from the technical perspective, in general, my mission has been accomplished because, look, I talked about this little area here, right here. Look, we came very close to it, so maybe we will actually end up testing this 39,700 zone, and hey, I have nothing else to add apart from it was a good run. Everything worked out perfectly. So yes, we got a nice breakout. And just bear with me. Let me just grab a sip of water. There we go. So, and if for now, I mean, if you're looking for some higher levels, I think that at this point, it's better to kind of leave it, to be honest. It's better to leave this one and see how it's going to play out. The week in general was a good one. So as you can see, we've approached one of my key resistance areas. So look, if this already worked out for me, don't be greedy. Just leave Friday alone. Just kind of, if you manage to capture this move to the upside, and I think this is a good option to kind of, let's say, if you're taking your profits. Yes, it didn't reach the 39,700 zone, but it's always the area, not the level. So maybe it will reach it today. Who knows? But I don't want to risk it. I think it was a good run. Let's chill now, and let's maybe examine something else. There are some other opportunities where we can jump in. So hey, let's take a look at those. But for now, I will keep it as it is. I'll keep it for next week, and yes, I think next week I will consider something like this. It's an interesting moment right now because it seems like we are trying to make our way back to the all-time high, or maybe even create a new all-time high. I don't know. We'll see. But hey, look, according to the Fibonacci, this is the 78.6 here percent of my Fibonacci retracement. So yeah, I mean, this area is very good. Maybe, like I said, maybe we will reach it. But if we don't, that's all fine as well, because we, like I said, we got a decent move here. So hey, let's keep it for maybe next week. The S&P 500, let's have a look at that one. It's still, it seems it still wants to travel higher, but in general, the idea has been working out nicely here. We remained above the 5,193 territory right here. That's great. That's wonderful. And we rebounded from it. So my next target is the 5,272. Now for this one, I'm still targeting that one. And maybe the Dow will come down a little bit, or yeah, it will ease off a little bit, but maybe the S&P will push a little bit higher. So let's see, or maybe NASDAQ will be the one, that will rally. So again, let's wait and see. For now, I'm targeting this 5,272 territory still, as long as we stay above the 5,193 territory right there, which acted as a fantastic area of support. If we do drop below it, I'll lean towards the downside. NASDAQ, beautiful. So this is what I'm talking about. So look, today in terms of U.S. economic data sets, we don't really have much. We do have the preliminary Michigan numbers, consumer expectations, yes, some consumer sentiment, but that's kind of it. So we don't really have much. The main focus probably will be on the Canadian numbers, Canadian employment numbers, which are coming out. So we'll see how those play out. Of course, we are still in the earnings season. Maybe not the top companies are reporting, but excuse me, but still quite important companies do. So look, just to name a few, so Walt Disney on Tuesday it reported. Let's have a look at how Disney played out. So yep, Disney here. What did I put? I put the wrong one, the wrong ticker. So Disney, so let's have a look at that one. There we go. We declined. I mean, they showed good earnings, but yeah, something didn't sparkle. Revenue estimate. Okay, so yeah, I know what the situation here is. Basically, during this earnings season, we're having companies where numbers are coming out not bad in general. The Q1 numbers are coming out, but a lot of companies are estimating their Q2 or Q3 even to be on the worst side. So that's where the shifts in the stocks to the downside are happening. So I think Disney is not the exception, and that's what's happening here right now. Yesterday, let me just double check. Yesterday we had Constellation Energy. Oh, by the way, on Wednesday I was talking about Uber. Sorry, on Tuesday I was talking about Uber. Let's have a look at what's happening with Uber. It retraced. It did, yes, sell off initially. Oh, by the way, Lyft as well. What happened there? Yes, okay. So this one declined, but yes, in Airbnb. So. Yeah, this one took a hit. Although good earnings, yes, but I think that the market didn't really like all that, and I need to dig into this a little bit deeper than just purely technical analysis. But hey. If we do look at just technical analysis on this one, we are near the 200-day EMA, and as you can see, last time, a few times, it acted as a very good area of support. So maybe we could revisit it, retest it a few times, and maybe then we could see a bit of a rebound, unless we start clearing the 200-day EMA. That's the thing. So do not be surprised if this suddenly starts falling off the cliff further, but only if we do clear this 200-day EMA. I mean, just applying a bit of technical analysis on Airbnb stock here, so let's see if that's going to work out or not. Let's jump into the indices here. Oh, by the way, coming back to the NASDAQ very quickly, and I already gave you a little preview of what's happening with the DAX. But look, with the NASDAQ, if we do clear, I talked about this from the beginning of this week. I said that if we do clear this downside line, I will go higher. And so far, we are waiting for this to happen, and let's say if it's going to happen, if we do get that clearance, then yes, my next target is the 18,436 territory, which, yep, is the 78.6%, near the 78.6% on the Fibonacci extension that I have here. So yeah, let's see how this is going to play out. This is an interesting area. I mean, also a good area to watch is, let me just grab a line here. This one right here, this 18,518. So in general, basically, if we do break the downside line, what I'm going to do, I'm going to aim for the 18,500 zone here on my futures, and then, yeah, we will go from there. The German index DAX. Okay, so we have approached again, or sorry, we didn't approach. We created a new all-time high on DAX again. Honestly, this animal is unstoppable. I mean, it did decline. It did reach my 61.8 here percent on the Fibonacci not retracement, extension. It bounced off of it beautifully. Look at this. Look at how well it did so, and then pushed back up. So from the 17,600 zone, roughly ish, back to 18,000 or already almost 900. I mean, is everything that good in Europe? I don't know. Let's find out. But in terms of economic data news, there's not much happening. There's not much good information. Maybe the fact that they're still hesitant to, to do anything with the rates. Okay, the idea is to cut the rates, right? But the market is still not cutting, or the ECB is still not cutting, and maybe they're actually thinking that, maybe we would have to increase if inflation starts creeping up. And inflation right now, let me just open up my numbers here very quickly. So so the Eurozone inflation number is 2.4 at the moment. So yes, it is. It's on a decline actually. So in a way, the Eurozone inflation number is not creeping up. It's not like the US one. And instead, maybe the market is thinking, hey, maybe the bank actually will go for the ECB will go for a rate cut, because if inflation starts dropping heavily further, then yes, the ECB will have to jump in with some cuts. And maybe this is what the market is thinking of. Okay, that's interesting. So let's see if we can go for another higher high. At the moment, of course, yes, while we are speaking, as you can see, we are pushing nicely to the upside. Look, I talked about my next target is this 18,905 zone, roughly around there, because that's the midpoint between my Fibonacci extension levels here. So it's look, it's roughly somewhere around here. Basically, it's maybe maybe a little bit higher, somewhere maybe around here even. Yes, looks a little bit more centered. 18,920. So just aim for that area, that that is somewhere for there. Again, and if we do get a little hold up there, maybe we'll see a bit of a retracement or something like that. But if we don't, well, ladies and gentlemen, I think 19,000 is the next target on the futures here, on my futures. And to be honest, it's quite doable, I think. So 19,000, I think here we come. In terms of economic data sets from Europe, we have the ECB's, ECB publishes its account of monetary policy meeting. So basically the meeting minutes. So we'll see, I mean, it will be maybe a bit of a market mover. It could be a little bit of a shift here and there, but will we find out something new? It's just for, I think, mostly for the headlines, to write something about. But yeah, for now, this idea here worked out perfectly. So now I think that this arrow needs to be updated a little bit. And yep, I think that this is the area. I mean, look. You know what? I'm not going to actually put the arrow anywhere here. No, I'm just going to say that I'm aiming for the 19,000 mark first, and then we'll go from there. Then probably I'm going to leave it for next week, and then we'll decide what do we want to do in there. The FTSE 100. So, beautiful. The BoE yesterday did a bit of kind of say how to say it, a bit of a stir, as I've named my the webinar as I named my webinar with BoE. Why it gave a little bit of a stir? Look, it didn't do anything, right? It didn't do, where's that economic calendar? It didn't do anything. It basically kept, not basically, but it kept the rate the same at 5.25. But the problem is that I told you yesterday that, look, it will be important to see who's going to be for a cut and who's going to be for a for the rate to be unchanged, or maybe there will be somebody who's going to be for a rate hike. So there are 9 MPC members, Monetary Policy Committee members, and each one of them votes kind of on the, what they want to see. They want to see a cut, they want to see a hike, or they want to see nothing. So previously we had the previous reading, we had that there were 8 people who wanted to see the number or the interest rate unchanged still, and there was 1 person for a cut. Now the expectation then was for everybody now to be unchanged, or should I say to be for the same rate as they are right now. But the number came out, the vote came out that there were only 7 people who were now for the rate to remain unchanged, and 2 people now for a rate cut. So that gave a boost. That gave a boost to the FTSE. Yep, as we know, lower interest rates help the stock market, and there we go. We got the move. We got that nice travel here, and hey, what else can we do here? What else can we do? I'm still aiming for that 8,500 zone. So yep. For now, I'm aiming for this one, and 8,400. We reached that, so that's great. Let's see if we can reach that 8,500. Nice, beautiful number on the FTSE 100 futures here. Let's see. I'm not saying that at some point this won't go lower. I mean, it will go lower for sure, but I need some sort of a reversal candle. At the moment, I'm not seeing it, so that's why I'm just sticking to the upside. By the way, in terms of other important UK news that came out this morning already, GDP numbers, yes, those came out better. The preliminary and the final, yes, there were some preliminary Q1, Q-on-Q numbers. And year-on-year, final year-on-year came out much better than the forecast, much better than the previous. Basically, all numbers came out much better. Industrial production, better. Everything is better. Trade balance, better. Wow, all the. I mean, I can't wait to look at the pound pairs in this. So let's see how those are going to play out. But at the moment, yes, I mean, if the FTSE is now drifting lower on these numbers, that means that the pound is enjoying the moment. We'll jump into that in a bit. Actually, you know what? Let's just have a quick preview of what's happening here with the pound. There we go, positivity. I will pick up on this in a bit. Jumping into the final index here, US dollar. So look at this, the 105.50 zone provided very good resistance. We held nicely, and we stayed below this hurdle. So we did briefly visit the area above it, but as you can see, that was just a brief visit, and we drifted back down. So I'm not saying that I'm going to be very bearish, no, because my bearishness will come here on a break below the 104.87 territory and this 50-day EMA. I talked about this before, so that's what I'm going to stick to for now. And for the upside, the same story, 105.50. I'm watching that one, but basically because there is an absence of U.S. news today, I think that this might stay around here somewhere. Let me just have a look at the weekly candle. Yep, it's just going to be like this. I think it's going to stay like this for the week, and maybe next week when we do get the inflation number, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check. Next week, I think from the US, we are getting the inflation numbers. We are getting the PPI figures. That's for sure. That's going to happen on Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken. Yep, Tuesday PPIs, US PPIs. And yes, there we go. Wednesday, core and headline CPI numbers coming out. So yep, keep your eyes on those. Those are going to be quite interesting. So yeah, jumping into gold now. Let me just have a look at this one. I mean, Okay, okay. So I talked about this, and I said to you, keep your eyes on that 2,332 territory. Yesterday I mentioned this. I also even threw out an idea here, a webinar on my after one of my webinars. This was the video idea here that I've posted. You can always check out our ideas here. So yep, so yeah, check us out. Yeah, look, for now, I would like to see a, well, actually, you know what? I'm wondering what I would like to see here. A move back to 2,400 could be, yes. Hey, let's find a better area somewhere here because this so far is 2,373 territory. Yes, it is an interesting one. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. There we go. I think that this is going to be my first target for now, maybe even for today. If we clear the 2,373 territory, then yes, of course, the 2,400 zone is something that I'm going to be watching carefully. In terms of the downside, just bear with me one moment. Let me clear up my voice. Yep, there we go. Just, I think, dried out. My throat dried out. Oh, there we go. Like a motorcycle starting on a cold start. Look, yes, the situation with gold for the downside. If you're looking for some lower at this point, I think yes, wait for a drop at least back below the upper side of this falling channel, which I talked about before, and there we go. Yes, and then we could maybe consider, you know, some lower levels. But at this point, it's all the way higher, I think, at least for now. And given the fact that US dollar here is not probably going to do anything, or maybe even drift lower, expect maybe gold drifting a little bit more to the upside. Silver, similar story. Beautiful pop-up of the 27.33 territory. I spoke about this level yesterday. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. We have our breakout. My next target is the 29 zone. I will aim for that one, and if that gets cleared, of course, certainly I will aim further for the psychological 30 level. Oil, let's jump into that one. This one's interesting. This one, look, after we broke the upside line, and I told you before, and I'll repeat myself again, that whenever we break a trend line, we tend to revisit it from the other side, and this is a good example of doing that. We're testing it from the other side. We're struggling to push above it. Look, I'm not saying that I'm giving up on the bulls here already. No, I'm not, but I will get more comfortable with the upside if we do break this downside line right here. This one taken from the high of the, or should I say the highest point of April. Is that not that correct? Is this April 87640, 876? Yep, that's the highest point of April of this year. So this little short-term downside resistance line drawn from the highest point of April of this year. So I need to see a break of that in order to go higher. In terms of the downside for me, basically I'm leaving all this area right here alone. Maybe if I'm really feeling adventurous, maybe we could keep an eye on the 200-day EMA and just kind of, you know, go from there. Target lower levels on a break of that 200-day EMA, which is fine, which is okay. But hey, if we do, like I said, if we do drop, then be careful, because my preferred scenario to the downside is actually from around here, from the same 77.95 territory. Wheat, let's jump into wheat. Beautiful move here. Everything's looking fine. Yep, we rebounded nicely. I talked about this yesterday. So 650 zone, we're currently testing it. I'm not really getting way too comfortable with the upside yet, because I want to see how it's going to end up, the day. And if we do stay above the 650 zone, then yes, great. I will continue targeting the upside. let's jump into cocoa. Cocoa is stuck here. It's stuck still below this downside line. So we're watching. I'm still aiming for that 23.6. Yesterday we came very close to it. So look, maybe we could end up testing this again. But if we're looking for some higher levels, I think a break of this downside line, a push above the 38.20 zone here on the Fibonacci retracement would be nice. Soybeans, soybeans is yes, are dropping below my 1,226 territory. That's wonderful. That's great. And yep, we're currently resting near the 50-day, near the 100-day EMA. I talked about this. I said that if we do fall below this, I'm going to aim for my EMAs, the 100 and the 50-day EMA. So we tested the 100. Let's see if we can reach the 50 now, together with maybe this 1,184.81 zone, which I talked about previously. Let's jump into sugar very quickly. Yes, just a quick update. I talked about this. It's not really a diamond reversal here because it's not really a very beautiful diamond, but something tells me that there could be some more, some interesting developments here. Look, either way, what I'm going to do here is, in order for me to go higher, I will wait for a pop and stay above the $20 mark here. If we do break below the 19 zone, then yes, I will consider a move lower because a forthcoming lower low will be confirmed. I'm applying a very simplistic approach on this one. Bitcoin, let's quickly have a look at that one. Beautiful rebound from my territory here. I talked about this area, this 60,770 zone. Beautiful, worked like a charm. Now my question is, can this pop higher? If we do pop above the 64,540 zone right here, I will get a little bit more excited with the upside. And yep, then I'll go from there. For the downside, a drop below my 60,770 zone is required, because at the same time we could fall below the 100-day EMA here, shown as the green line. If you cannot see it, it's right here, basically this green line, which goes. It's a good area of support. Let's see if we can drop below it. But hey, at the moment, I'm kind of cautiously leaning towards the upside. Bitcoin Cash is resting still on its 442 territory zone here, and yes, it's acting as a good area of support. So if we do break it and we do fall below the 100-day EMA, great. I will go lower. At the moment, I am just being careful, being cautious, because my upside scenario is still from this 50-day EMA. Ethereum is also, yes, it had a rebound. That's fine, that's great, but we're still in between my trend lines, so I'm waiting for clearance, so I'm not really doing much with it. And Ripple, let's have a look at Ripple. And yeah, Ripple is still moving lower. It tried yesterday to make its way back up, but unsuccessfully. So we're now falling back below my territory here. Look, I think that this adjustment has to be done here. I think that this level is no longer needed. I think that the better option here is to keep an eye on something like this here. That's the inside swing low of the 5th of May, and I think it's a good area of resistance and support, so why not to just stick to that one? So as long as we remain below the 0.5240 zone, I will continue targeting the downside in the near term, because let's not forget that we're stuck in this little territory right here. So we're stuck in this little zone in between these trend lines. So my next target is this upside line taken from the low of the 19th of April. In terms of the upside, I would like to see a push above the downside line. And yep, if we do break the downside line here, then yes, more buyers could join in. We could target the 50, the 100, and the 200-day EMA. Yep, that's kind of it for Ripple, to be honest. I mean, it's a very simplistic approach, and at the moment I'm cautiously bearish, as long as we stay below the 0.5240 zone. Dogecoin, let's have a look at that one. Rebounded nicely from the 100-day EMA, so that's fine. And yeah, now the question is, can this downside line get broken again? And if we do break it and we do push above the 50-day EMA, my next target is the 0.163339 zone right here. I would prefer to see a push above it before going for some higher levels, but hey, what the hell? What the heck? Let's start aiming for the upside already if we do break the downside line. And let's jump into the forex world, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful rebound on the AUDUSD. Look at this. I talked about this, and I talked about this idea. I said to you, like, keep your eyes on the EMAs, and there we go. These provided fantastic support. I said that if these gonna hold, maybe we could see a nice rebound like this, and then push back to the 0.6640 territory, somewhere around here. And to be honest, I'm still gonna target that. Why? Because of this fella, which doesn't want to do probably anything today. And maybe, you know, maybe that's where the positivity could come in here, and we could see the AUDUSD, sorry, blacked out a little bit here. We could see AUDUSD pushing nicely to that barrier, to that key important resistance area. If that gets cleared, of course, I'll go higher. But hey, for now, yes, that's my simplistic approach here. For the downside, yes, a drop below the EMAs here is required. AUDJPY. AUDJPY, beautiful push. Yes, of course, it's our risk-on, risk-off environment monitor, and yep, it is monitoring positivity right now. We pushed above the 102.47 territory. That's wonderful. My next target is still the 103.48 zone, and then we'll go from there. If we start falling back below the 102.47, I'll take a neutral stand for now at least. But if we start falling somewhere below this territory, actually, you know what? I think that this is a little bit not well, a little bit worse. So if we start dropping somewhere below this little hurdle, this 102.20, yep, I will consider a bit of a retracement back down. NZDUSD, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, by the way, let me just double check what's happening on the economic calendar. Come on. On the economic calendar, let me just today, nothing from Australia. No, we didn't get anything important from Australia today. Okay, that's absolutely fine. Look, NZDUSD, I think that that one, we got the business PMI figure from New Zealand, and that came out better than the previous. There was no forecast than the previous, but still below 50, still in contraction territory. And yes, we're now seeing some love here, and we're seeing some declines. Look, in general, I'm just going to stick to the upside, to be honest, because again, just because of the US dollar, and also is Israel Bethel Ministries Global. I like I like your long name here. Yes, good morning. I see you there in the chat room. Thank you very much for tuning in. That's fine, honestly. You're never late. Nobody's ever late. And I actually want to say to everybody, look, if you missed the show, that's absolutely fine. You can watch it like as a recorded session. Just do me a favor, if anybody who's watching the recorded session, let's say straight after the webinar finished, wait for a little bit, because I'm doing some editing on the video, and it might actually then show up not in the live section but in the video section. So yeah, if you think that, for example, you missed the show, it will be either in the live or in the video section. Basically, it depends. If I made some editing on it, then I throw it into the video section. But if there was no editing, then it's sitting in the live section. So sometimes, for example, if you think that you can't see the video, it is there. It is there. Just flick between the live and the video sections on YouTube on our page. Yeah, it's a YouTube thing. I mean, I cannot keep it. I would love to keep it in the live section, but if some editing is required, then unfortunately it jumps back into video. So coming back to the pairs here, look, for the downside on the NZD-USD pair, I need to see a drop below the 0.5986 territory in order to go lower. CHFJPY, one of my favorite pairs actually, and look at this. This is just beautiful, and we are now stuck here near this key area of resistance. To be honest, this is quite an important area of resistance. We had a good run, and we had a really good retracement here, to be honest. Look at this. I mean, it has been a charm, and I think that I've mentioned this yesterday. I think that if we do clear this highlighted area of resistance here, then the next target of mine is the 61.8% on the Fibonacci retracement here, which is roughly around the 172.12 zone on my chart. Maybe on your chart is something else, but approximately around there. So that's what I'm going to aim for if we do clear this highlighted zone. But what could happen, don't be surprised if this happens, is we might see maybe like a spike here a little bit higher, and then at the end of the day it drifts back down and stays back in like either inside this area, either inside this highlighted zone, or maybe it will fall even below it. So if it does do that, maybe we could see a correction. Maybe not, maybe we could see, but I think that the correction to the stock market is happening, and then maybe that's why we are seeing this one drifting back down here. CAD CHF, so yes, watching the Canadian numbers today. If you are trading this pair, keep your eyes on the economic data sets from Canada. We have the job numbers from Canada coming out today. So let me just double check. Unemployment is expected to increase by 0.1%, and employment change is expected to improve actually. So okay, let's see how that's going to play out. Participation rate, no expectation there. So yeah, let's see how this is going to play out, of course. If numbers are good, maybe we could see a boost for the Canadian dollar here, and we could see, CAD CHF pushing nicely higher. But I talked about this before, and I said to you that I need to see a push above the 0.6639 zone right here in order to go higher, or at least a little bit to the upside. But if we stay in this area in between these two levels here, then I'm not really doing anything. For the downside, yeah, I need to see a drop below 0.6608 territory, and if we do get that, wonderful, I will go lower. So US dollar against the Japanese yen. Beautiful move. We kind of reached my target, to be honest, the 50% retracement on the Fibonacci. Yep. So, okay, that's absolutely fine. Everything's working out nicely. What else? So far, look, I'm still sticking to this idea of this possible move to the downside, back down, but maybe a bit of a corrective move lower. But hey, if we start clearing the 50%, then yes, I will go higher. I will go higher, and I will go towards my 61.8% here, which is near the 157 level. Good potential target, to be honest. In general, the 160 is a good target, but hey, can we reach that again? Let's wait and see. For now, let's all watch the 50% here, this barrier, the 156 zone. If that gets cleared, yes, I'll aim for the 157 zone. US dollar against the Canadian dollar here, of course, watching today's news from Canada, and let's see how those are going to play out. But hey, this so far is doing a good job. I talked about the 1.3729 zone, and I said that if this is we were gonna drop below it, I'm gonna lean towards my lower levels, the 1.3655, or maybe even the 50-day EMA. So yes, good potential targets here. I'm not really, like I said, I'm not really aiming for anything else at the moment, just for that 50-day EMA. And then if that gets cleared, okay, wonderful. We could go lower. Maybe we could go towards this upside line right here. Maybe, we could see a test of it. But look, for now, I'm just keeping it short and simple here. If we do pop back above the 1.3729 zone, then yep, I will consider a move to the upside. US dollar against the Swiss franc. US dollar against the Swiss franc. There we go. There we go. We broke the upside line. I kept on talking about this upside line for the whole week. And I said that we are kind of crawling here, and look at this. We failed to stay above the 0.9095 territory. There we go. And yes, there we go. We've just created a little false breakout, and we broke through this upside line. That's wonderful. That's great. What's next? Next, I think that I was aiming for this level before. I mean, I'm aiming for the 100-day EMA in general, but before that, I think we need to do is we need to aim for the 50-day EMA right here. But after that, if that gets cleared, I think this is a good target, the 0.90 zone. The psychological 0.90 area is the next good target here. Let's aim for that one. So, yep, that's the game plan here. On this pair, GBPUSD. So yes, positivity kicking in. There we go. Positivity, good numbers from UK. Positivity kicking in, and hey, what else to add here apart from let's see if this is going to be just part of a little correction to the upside before another possible leg of selling. But in general, the 200-day EMA got reached. That's wonderful. So now I'm watching this. If we get a hold up below the upside line, then yes, I will consider a move back down, basically. If you're not really comfortable with that scenario, that's absolutely fine as well, because what you can do here is keep your eyes on this low, the current lowest point of this week near the 2.0742 area. If that gets cleared, the forthcoming lower low will be confirmed, and we could see a drop below the 200-day EMA as well. In terms of the upside, yes, a push back above the 50-day EMA for me personally is required. GBPJPY, yes, pushing slowly to the upside. That's absolutely fine. Look, we are on the right track. I talked about this before, and we are aiming for, I am at least aiming for that 50%. I talked about this in the beginning of this week. I said that if we are going to continue trading above that 23.6, my next target is the 38.2 tick. And then it's the 50% here, which I'm aiming for next. Let's see if that's going to get reached. I will continue targeting the upside as long as we stay above the 38.2% here on the Fibonacci retracement. If we start dropping back below it, I will take a neutral stand, and I will just observe the price action. I'm not really going to do anything. GBPUSD. So let's see. Let's see if we can break that. Let's see if we can break this downside line. I talked about this, and I said that if we are going to clear it and we push above the 1.2538 zone, I am going to get more excited with the upside. And so far, so good. Let's see if we can clear this, and then let's see if we can eventually clear the EMAs here. If we do that, I'll go to the upside. EURJPY, one of my unfavorite pairs. I talked about this yesterday. There we go. Some strength in the pound is forcing this pair to drift lower back, move back down. However, let's see who's going to outpull who, because the euro is also, enjoying the weaker dollar moment. So at the moment, yes, we saw positivity in the pound, and we drifted lower. But as you can see, we're holding above the 200-day EMA. So let's see if we can rebound from it. If we can rebound from that 200-day EMA, then that's wonderful. And yep, I will consider something like this, basically a move back up towards this downside line taken from the high of the or should I say from the highest point of February of 2023. If we start falling below the 200-day EMA, I will slowly aim to the downside. And finally, EURUSD, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful rebound. Look at this. I talked about this, and I said that if we do pop back above the 50-day EMA, shown as the red line here, then yes, I will consider a move higher within this area between the trend lines. So we tested the 100-day EMA beautifully. That's wonderful. If we can clear now the 100-day EMA shown as the green line here, then yes, my next target is the 200-day EMA, and then I'll target this downside line taken from the high of the 28th of December of last year, or should I say the highest point of December of 2023. So yeah, that's kind of it for the upside. For the downside, to drop back below the 1.073525 area, it would be required at least. Some of you might say, but hey, what about like the 50-day EMA? But yeah, you can do that as well, but just be very careful because this area could again provide support, good support. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's it for this session. I hope you found it useful. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sticking around with me, watching my webinars this week. I really appreciate that. So I hope you're going to tune in next week. We're going to pick up on some other instruments, mostly the same instruments, but to see how everything's getting along. But yeah, I hope you'll have a fantastic trading day today. Stay safe. Have your stop losses in place. Risk only what you can afford to lose. Don't overtrade, and everything will be fine. Have a beautiful weekend. And I'll see you on Monday, if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check if I'm gonna see you on Monday or not. Yeah, I'm gonna see you on Monday for sure. See you on Mondays, ladies and gentlemen. Have a beautiful weekend. Bye bye.